Hello and welcome to Jive Talking with me, Disco Dan. On today's episode we'll be taking a look back at the action from this past weekend with House of Pain Wrestling, and we're going to kick things off with Rainworth on Friday the 27th of October. The show kicked off with tag team action as the Full Throttle champions Oscar Prospero and Indigo Jones teamed up to take on the returning badly dressed boys of Davey Thompson and Brandon Brooks. And it was Davey and Brandon picking up the win after a double disaster kick, and Brandon pinning Oscar to possibly set himself up for a future Full Throttle title match. Up next, it was singles action as Joseph the Fallen Star went one-on-one with Kid Rothrock. Kid Rothrock looked to have the win secured when Mr. USA Lance Flashman came to the ring and attacked Rothrock. Flashman's opponent for later in the night, John Allens, came running to the ring and chased Flashman away, saying he's not going to wait for his match, but Flashman refused to face him there and then and left to the back. Kobe Woods came to ringside next to talk to his hometown crowd about how close he came to becoming the heavyweight champion the previous month, but the main spectacle, Tristan Wheeler, interrupted him. Kobe said that even though he is in the main event later in the night, he's happy to pull double duty and challenge Tristan to a match there and then. Tristan refused the match, but the special guest ring announcer, Pinky the Pirate, threw Tristan into the ring and rang the bell, so the match was on. Tristan looked to be closing in on victory and went for a second rope crossbody, but Kobe hit an RKO out of nowhere to pick up the win. Following the match though, the firm's Johnny Sharp came to the ring and attacked Kobe Woods with his crook, knocking him out. Joey Cement and Will Roberts came to the ring and berated Johnny for his actions, saying it's out of hand what he's been doing recently, attacking Joey in Hucknall, Spike the month before in Rainworth breaking his collarbone, and Joey fired Johnny from the firm. Johnny said that he knew this was coming though, and he had a backup plan, and that is when Will Roberts attacked Joey from behind with a skull-crushing finale, and the two now former firm members left Joey lying in the ring. After the interval, it was the battle of the big men as Mr. USA Lance Flashman went one-on-one with the juggernaut John Allens. Joseph Starr tried to get involved, but Kid Rothrock stopped him from interfering, and this allowed John to hit Lance with a spear to pick up the win. In the main event of the night, it was scheduled to be a 6-man tag team match as Johnny Sharp, Will Roberts and Joey Cement were set to team up. However, after what happened earlier in the night, Johnny and Will had a new partner in the form of the House of Pain heavyweight champion Grayson Clay. LJ Heron and Gunnarsson made their entrance, but their partner Kobe Woods was unable to compete following the attack from Johnny Sharp earlier in the night. But LJ said they were more than happy to take them on in a 3-on-2 situation. The numbers game did become too much as Gunnarsson and Grayson fought out of the building, leaving LJ 2-on-1 against Sharp and Roberts. All of a sudden though, Joey Cement ran to the ring, tagged himself in and joined the match and ran wild on Sharp and Roberts. However, Will Roberts distracted the referee, which allowed Johnny Sharp to get his crook, hit Joey in the head with it to pin him and pick up the win for the team. After the match though, LJ and Gunnarsson showed their respect for Joey Cement and raised his hand. It looks like this is officially the end of the firm. Moving on to St Anne's now. On Saturday the 28th of October, we kicked things off with a tag team match as Pinky the Pirate teamed up with the Screwdriver Zach Roberts to take on both of the Full Throttle champions Indigo Jones and Oscar Prospero. After a fast-paced match, it was Zach Roberts picking up the win over Indigo Jones, and it was announced that Zach will challenge Indigo for the Full Throttle Championship next month when we return to St Anne's. It was singles action next as Mr. Number 1 Niall Hind went one-on-one with the powerhouse punk Mikey McLovin. Mikey did look to have things in control, but Niall managed to roll him up and put his feet on the ropes without the referee seeing to steal the win from the newcomer. We were back to tag team action next as the House of Pain Women's Champion Lexi Olivia teamed up with Eli Valentine to take on the team of myself and Rave Boy, Disco Rave. Me and Rave Boy looked to have things won as we were setting up for our finisher, which still has no name. Please leave a name in the comments for us. When Lexi Olivia grabbed my leg, Eli managed to get out of Rave Boy's grip and pushed him into me, knocking me down and out of the ring. Eli then hit a belly-to-belly suplex to pick up the win. The miscommunication between me and Rave Boy did seem to raise some eyebrows, but I know accidents happen and me and Rave Boy hugged it out. And don't worry, Disco Rave is going nowhere. We were back to singles action next as the textbook protege Kyle Crimson was going one-on-one with Nate Colt, with the stipulation being if Nate picked up the win, he would receive a shot at Dave Breaks and the Heritage Championship. And it was Nate managing to out-wrestle Kyle to pick up the win and earn himself a shot at the House of Pain Heritage Championship. After the interval, it was the return of Peter Sidor, who made his debut back in June but hasn't been seen since. The fan favourite when he debuted came to the ring with a new attitude and told the St Anne's fans what he thought of them. We then brought out his opponent, which was Jerry Jarvis, and these two had one hell of a match until Jerry knocked Peter out of the ring and Peter refused to return, losing the match via countout, meaning that Jerry Jarvis picked up the win. In the main event of the evening, it was a 6-man tag team match as Will Roberts teamed up with Owen Ocean and Mike Angelo of the Three Kings to take on the new House of Pain tag team champions Firestorm of Marley Hayden and Rayner and their partner Mr. Rock and Roll Johnny Sterling. Johnny Sharp came to ringside during the match and stood and watched from a distance until Rayner looked to be closing in on a victory, where Johnny jumped up on the apron and got in Rayner's face. This distraction allowed Will Roberts to hit a skull-crushing finale and pick up the win over the tag team champion. We rounded the weekend off at Annie's Burger Shack in Derby on Sunday, the 29th of October, where the main event was set to be a 20-man rumble match. The opening contest of the night was a tag team match, where the winners would advance to the rumble and the losers would not. The teams were Joseph the Fallen Star teaming with Mr. Nice Guy Will Roberts to take on the Wild Wolves of Big Mike Wild and Timberwolf. And it was Big Mike and Timberwolf picking up the win and moving on to the Rumble match in the main event. It was singles action next, as the House of Pain heavyweight champion was going one-on-one with LJ Heron, where the loser of the match would be forced to enter the Rumble number 1. After a hard-hitting match, LJ Heron went up to the top rope, but Grayson Clay pulled the referee Kev in the way, meaning that LJ couldn't hit his flying attack. As LJ moved the referee out of the way, Grayson took this opportunity to hit a low blow and follow up with a devastating move to pick up the win, meaning that LJ Heron would be forced to enter the Rumble at number 1. Up next, we had a fatal 4-way match where the winner of the match would enter the Rumble in the number 20 position. The participants were one half of the Full Throttle champion Oscar Prospero, Pinky the Pirate, the Shepherd Johnny Sharp, and one half of the Badly Dressed Boys Davey Thompson. After a fast-paced, action-packed match, Pinky the Pirate hit a 619 on Davey Thompson, but Johnny Sharp threw him out of the ring and pinned Davey to pick up the win, securing himself the coveted number 20 spot in the Rumble. As I was the special guest ring announcer at Annie's Burger Shack, I was encouraging the fans to order some burgers and grab some drinks at the bar as we went into the interval, when House of Pain's resident gangster, Jaden Law, came out to the ring and issued an open challenge to anybody in the building, where the loser of the match would have to enter the Rumble wearing a dress. The open challenge was answered by the King Freak, Alton Thorne, and Jaden immediately regretted his decision and issued another open challenge to anybody else. However, it was Alton Thorne answering the challenge and the match was on. Alton Thorne made easy work of Jaden Law and hit a powerbomb to pick up the win, meaning that Jaden Law had to enter the Rumble match wearing a dress. The main event of the afternoon was the 20-man Rumble match, where the winner would receive a title shot when we return to Annie's Burger Shack on Friday the 29th of December. The match had some surprises in it, such as Indigo Jones entering the Rumble 3 times. The first time as Indigo Jones, the second time as a cowboy, and the third time dressed up as Styx. In those 3 appearances in the Rumble, he clocked in the shortest amount of time out of everybody in the match at 1 minute and 36 seconds, his shortest time in the ring during his second appearance of just 3 seconds. The people with the most eliminations was tied between Grayson Clay and the monster Matlock, and the final 4 of the match came down to Alton Thorne, Davey Thompson, Grayson Clay and Johnny Sharp. Johnny Sharp got thrown out by Davey Thompson, and then Grayson Clay threw Davey Thompson out, meaning the final two were the House of Pain heavyweight champion Grayson Clay and the King Freak Alton Thorne. And it was Alton Thorne picking up the win, sending Grayson over the top rope and then knocking him off the apron to the floor to secure himself a shot at the House of Pain Heavyweight Championship when we return to Annie's on Friday the 29th of December. Well, that is all I do have time for today, so thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, leave a comment below, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time for some more Jive Talking.